Hello everybody, welcome to Khong Driving, and we are at Sepang International Circuit today, and this is the day that the new Porsche 911 Carrera is launched. This is the 8th generation of the Carrera, which has basically retained its iconic shape since the 1960s. Okay, this new one comes with an engine that's a little bit more powerful. It's a 3-liter twin turbo engine, flat opposing 6, and it has 450 horsepower and 530 newton meters of torque. Okay, this extra horsepower is gained from having new piezo injectors, and also by simply repositioning they remade the two turbos. Previously, when you have twin turbos, the two turbochargers are the same, but since they are on opposing sides of the flat 6, the plumbing and the orientation of the inlet and exhaust sides create a bit of a problem, and they had a very simple solution for this. They did a mirror image, or rather laterally inverted one of the turbochargers, and so now the flow of air between the engine and the turbocharger is much improved. Alright, so there are two variants available, the Carrera 2 and also the Carrera 4S. Basically 2 and 4 means either two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, or which is also all-wheel drive. So you have the option of 20 or 21 inches, and of course humongous brakes and many colors. Carrera also comes with a wet mode function, and this is going to be especially good for people who are driving in the wet. So what happens is there are sensors in the wheel arch that actually sense the water splashing, and then the first thing that happens is there's a warning on the dashboard that says road is wet, kindly switch on your wet mode, and then you have the option to turn it on. And once you turn it on, what happens is the traction control systems all act much earlier, and they are meant to save you in case of problem, in the wet. And also the most obvious thing that will happen is the front flaps will open to create more downforce, and also the rear spoiler, which is interestingly housed in the rear cover here that you see, the rearmost cover at the top, and that one opens up into full position to provide more downforce for you. Of course, it doesn't matter what speed you're going, and also the traction control systems all start acting much earlier. All right, and they also have reduced the NVH and noise level within the car by simply repositioning the engine mounts. For the wet mode in the Carrera 4S, the traction control also provides more drive to the front, making it more like a front wheel drive, which promotes better grip through corners and all during the wet driving. Okay, let's take a look at the inside. Inside, the car is wider than the previous one, and the wheelbase remains the same, but the car is slightly longer and slightly wider. And now the Carrera 2 and Carrera 4 share the same body. In previous versions, the Carrera 2 always looked slimmer, but in this new version, they both share the same body. Okay, there are other driving aids that have things like lane keep and lane departure warning. Of course, all the driving aids are there because this is designed as a Porsche that you can drive as an everyday car. All right, here's a look at the gear lever. Looks more like a computer joystick now than a gear stick. But the most important thing is the meters are analog, and of course there's a rev counter there. Rev counter is in the center. Okay, this is the race driver's dream. The rev counter must always be in the center, and then the speedometer is on the left, and on the sides are other meters. All right, and of course there are the famous paddle shifters that are a part of every Porsche that is not a manual. Yeah. Okay, so the seating, this is very much a driver's car, and at the back you have, it is a 2+2, but it's barely 2+2. Yes, you can sit another two small sized people, but not huge people. Yeah, so it's good if you have kids, because then you can take your kids out for a drive in your Porsche. And down there you can see those are the isofix points in case you have babies. All right, and of course they have the drive mode button here, which is a very convenient feature. It allows you to change drive modes easily. And of course the handbrake is electronic. There you are. So that's about it. You take a look at the rear wheel arch, which is now the fatter wheel arch, and the car is 44 mm wider. Yeah. Okay, so rear brakes are ventilated too, and they have a 4-pot caliper for the rear and cross drill, and the front runs 1, 2, 3, yep, 6-pot caliper. Yeah, and of course they are also ventilated discs. Now what's also new is a 8-speed PDK gearbox, otherwise known as a dual clutch transmission, and this is the first time we are seeing an 8-speed dual clutch transmission. So prices are between 1.150 million for the 2S and 1.22 million for the Carrera 4S. So that's about it. The version you see is left-hand drive, but the right-hand drive versions are available for order, and you can just pop into any Porsche showroom and sign up for your Carrera anytime now. All right, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.